Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Today we're going to do some problem diagnosis and hopefully we'll repair a reel. It was sent in to me by one of the channel viewers. It's a Abu 650 Ambassador 650 Plus. It's a reel that was made, 15 years ago maybe. Still stands the test of time, but this one, it's not even turning. Very difficult to turn. If you release the spool, you can move it with quite some effort. And the complaint is that this tensioning cap here can't be removed to adjust the tension on that. So we're going to take it apart. We're going to see exactly what the problem is, and we'll see if it can be repaired. Now, a lot of times I tell folks a couple of things right off the bat. I wear a protective glove on my non-working hand. That's to keep contaminants and the like out of the off of my hand. I deal with a lot of fishing reels and never quite sure what's in them when you take them apart. The other thing I suggest is a parts tray, so that when you take the reel apart, you can find the pieces and parts when you go to put them back together again. So we're going to disassemble this. You know what, I think we're going to start with, I took that nut cap off, but I'm going to start by taking the side plate off. Let's see if the problem happens to be broken line or something tangled up in the spool, or whether the problem is under the case here. So they have these thumb screws on the Abus. After you break the first turn, you can just basically take them out with your fingers, which I like to do. That's a kind of a screw that's on a Daiwa C-line as well, but those are pretty good. Okay, so we've got side plate spools. Let's take a look at the spool first. It's very clean in the reel. That doesn't appear to be the problem. Let's put the spool in and make sure that that's operating properly. Having a little bit of a difficulty centering it, but there we go. And let's spin the spool. Okay, the spool is spinning fine. Let's make sure that the worm gear is turning while we're at it. These are all things you would do from problem diagnosis, try to eliminate as many possible causes. So it doesn't seem like it's a bad pull or anything, because the worm gear is riding, the lever wind is riding, this spool is turning. So we're going to, for now, we're going to rule out that it's the back end of the reel. We're going to go look now at the front end of the reel, and isn't that interesting? This reel is turning fine. So I guess the word out there is that, that it is something to do with the tension cap. So one of the things I suggest when we go and do reel repair is to pull a schematic of the reel, and I did that just here. I got this off of the Abu website. It's for the Ambassador 650 Plus, and it shows that this one came out in 2002. So this reel is a little old, even though it looks like it's in fantastic condition. And it shows you the components that are in here. So unless I find broken line in this section up here, we're going to focus on this cap. And one of the things I did, because they did suggest it was the cap, I went and looked online to even see if these parts are available, and unfortunately they're not available at this point. The reel is, as I mentioned, it shows 2002 as the release date, and you know, Abu and their regional parts centers just don't stock the parts to support reels like that. So we were looking at the cap. There's a retaining clip, a washer, a rubber O-ring, and then the rest of it is integral to the side plate itself. So let's go ahead and see if there's just some broken line in here, but it doesn't seem like it because the reel is spinning. And let's go see if we can identify what's going on with that, and maybe even find a way to free that up. So there's a set screw here that goes into the center shaft. It acts kind of two ways. It holds the center shaft to the bridge, but it also holds the handle to the reel, so that's why I just took that off. We'll use a 10mm wrench to take the nut off that secures the handle to the main shaft. We'll remove the handle. We'll remove the star drag. And then we'll be able to take that side case off, and we'll see what's going on there. So these reels, everybody's got some favorites. This is a nice one. This has got 6 ball bearings. Was made in Sweden. It stood the test of time. It's a nice round bait casting reel. Okay, with that in place, then we only have 2 screws to take off here to remove the side plate. And again, if you're not used to working on a reel like this, make sure you get that schematic, because that schematic will show you the burst diagram in terms of where the pieces and parts go. And if you happen to be unfortunate enough to have a spring shoot out or something, you can always go back to the diagram to see if you could find that screw there. So let's go ahead and see what's going on here. So how does this, so this is a beautiful reel. The reel is in excellent condition. You can see how clean it is throughout. So it's certainly not anything that got involved with being gummed up or anything, that's for sure. Okay, yeah, no, that's in perfect shape. Okay, over to this side then. Let's see what happens if we try to turn this. Oh, there it is. So this is the problem then. This is an integral part of the side plate. It's pressed in. That shouldn't be turning. That's the side plate stud that holds the tensioning. And as we saw on this on the parts diagram here, that's pressed into the case. So what's happening here is this cap somehow has gotten frozen to the stud, possibly cross-stripped, but regardless, it's not moving. Can't be loosened because it's spinning here, and unfortunately, there's no repair for that. The repair is to replace the side plate and to get the new tensioner cap and the O-ring and the little axle washer that goes on here. But in this case, you can't repress this into the case, not that I'm aware of anyway. And as far as I'm aware, there's no easy way to hold this piece, pull this cap off, and redeem the parts and reuse them because it's broken free on the pressing there. So sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and in this case, we're not going to be able to fix this one without a replacement side cap. And again, I went ahead already and I looked online, and this side plate is not available. So what are your options here then? Your options really are to try and find a replacement side plate, donor reel. Sometimes you can find those on eBay or other sites. Not too uncommon, but we can look, and maybe I'll look afterwards, and we'll see if I can go find that, see if there's any parts availability out there. I guess I'm thinking about this. If you wanted to make the reel work, you could probably do 2 things. That is a tension cap, so I guess one of the options, and I wouldn't recommend it, but I would say it's an option, is you can probably grind down a little bit of the shaft here to take some of the tension pressure off of that side cap. And if you ground that down, I suspect that you could free the reel up to operate. The second option, I think, would be probably the other side of it. Come in here with a drill bit. Come through the hole here, find a drill bit that's the same size or slightly less, and maybe just drill out, 1/16 of an inch or something here to kind of trying to free that up to take some of the tension off of it. But in terms of the actual repair, the repair can't be done without a replacement side plate. And the only place now that I am aware of a side plate would be the secondary market. Like I said, you can check eBay, see if you got a donor reel on there or something. As I mentioned, the parts are not available through their regional service centers for ABU, so that's not an option at this point. But otherwise, it was worth a try, and in this case, it's probably, as I mentioned, the reel came on board in 2002, so it's probably had a decent life. It's in decent shape for sure, and it's just a matter that the reel at this point needs some parts that are not available. It happens. So just a video to show you how to do some problem diagnosis. We eliminated the back end of this reel from any thoughts about it being a jam, perhaps with a bent pawl, stuck line, other issues. We got underneath the covers here to check to see maybe if there wasn't something broken in there. And unfortunately, what we found out is that the brake is in a piece that is generally not available at the moment. So with that, you know, I don't know if this is a problem that could have even been avoided. I'm not quite certain how this kind of affected it, how it became a problem there. It seems like cross-stripping, maybe. It seems like something it's just unusual to have a cap that tight and frozen. But it could be that some water got in there and something got rusted. Just don't know. Those are some of the mysteries of real repair, where you'll just never know the deal. So otherwise, I think from just what we did here in terms of taking the reel apart, showing you the basics of it, and showing you you know, how to eliminate certain things from your thinking in terms of what may need to be fixed is helpful. And if you have any questions or comments, they're always welcome. And if you have any sources for these parts, then certainly let us know that as well, because maybe we can still save this reel somehow. Okay, with that, I'm just putting the reel back together in the reverse order that we did it. Again, if you didn't remember how some of these pieces and parts went, you could look back on the pictures you may have taken. You could certainly look as a referral point to the schematic that we showed you, and that schematic is available right at the Abu Garcia website under all the way down on the bottom after maintenance and parts. You can come down that way and find that. And not only for this reel, but for all Abu Garcia Ambassadors, they're all listed there. So if you're thinking about taking a reel apart, make sure you go get that schematic and you know, have it at your reference point so that you can know where to go as you try and tackle the reel repair. Also, if you do need to order replacement parts, and most of the time those are things like drag washers and the like, each one of those pieces that are shown in that diagram, it is a burst diagram, but each one of those pieces shown has a parts number next to it. As you can see here, there's all kinds of parts numbers on those. And if you needed it and you were ordering from Abu, you would just reference those parts in your order, and they would tell you whether they're available. Okay, well, this is back to where it was, but unfortunately, it's not going to go fishing anytime soon. All right, so hopefully you learned something from that. If you liked the video, please indicate that on YouTube. If you want to see more, please subscribe, and I wish you good fishing. Thank you for watching.